Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a exciting restoration. In this video we will be seeing some of the most rare Barbie doll footnotes in Barbie's history.
I'm exhausted from all this. I am covering more ground today than the average hooker.
But before we do, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Just kidding. I just figured I would have some fun with that.
Why are we nice to her?
We will be looking at eras from the early 60s all the way up to the early 1980s. And if you didn't think that was exciting enough, again, some of these are some of the rarest items I've ever restored and possibly will probably never restore them again. And I know all of these dolls are a part of people's dream collection, and this collection will be available in a museum.
I'll bet it is.
It's not for sale, but you will be able to see these dolls in person, which means you will get the opportunity to see the dolls that I actually got to restore in this video.
Hooray! Everyone's a winner!
And you may even see some other dolls that you've seen in videos past, which is like a dream come true for me. I remember going to children's museums as a child and being enamored with the dolls in the museum. And they were never like the focus point. So to have a museum be focused on fashion dolls, in particular Barbie, oh my God, I would have probably fainted as a child if I got to see all of these rare Barbies all at once and in one museum. I probably never would have left, to be honest with you. And all details to this museum I'm going to give you later, but let's go ahead and get into this restoration. All right, you guys, it is time to look at what is probably some of the most rare Barbie dolls that you can find out there in the wild in one video. And we are going to restore all of them. Now, these are from a special client of mine. We have worked on his dolls before, and one of these dolls actually is mine. I just found her at the flea market, so I threw her in here because she too is pretty rare. So she kind of goes along with how rare these other dolls are. But let's go ahead and dig in and get to see what exactly we have in this treasure trove. So first things first, we'll look at the doll that I just found at the flea market. So this one is my doll. This is an Action Accents Barbie from 1970. These dolls are very rare. They were a Sears exclusive. And they do look like a dramatic living Barbie, but they're a little bit different. And they were definitely sold around the same time as them. They have the same body with the ankles that can be flat or they can be heeled. See the difference? See, Made to Move Barbies aren't the only ones that have the great articulation. She also has bendable arms, pivotal wrists, a ball jointed neck, a swivel articulated waist, legs that could go up, down, and out, and knees that could click and hold a position. And this was huge. This was big. This was a big moment for Barbie. It showed how articulated they could really make their Barbies. It's not a popular body for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that the rubber arms make it very difficult to get some of the outfits up the doll's body. But if you put baby powder on them, like talcum powder, it will help. There's also a little pesky thing of melting.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting!
Unfortunately, is prone to melt marks. Still a really cool doll and still such a really great find. But just know that the Action Accents Barbie, a Sears exclusive, was a different doll, and she will have Japan markings all over her body instead of Taiwan. The next doll that we're going to look at is this German Francie doll. Now, Mattel, for some reason, and I'm sure there probably was some sort of like research group, decided to release Francies that were different to each other around the world. So German Francie is this one, and in Japan they got their own Francie as well, but this is the German one. She does have the busy Francie body, which unfortunately she is missing in arms. So he did send a spare twist and turn Francie body that we will be using. But look at that. She is such a really pretty doll, a very rare doll at that. This is probably one of the harder to find dolls that you will find out there, and she does cost a hefty penny. Next rarity that we have is Golden Dream Christy. Look how beautiful this Christy doll is. She is not a common doll by any means. This is the first edition Christy, and you can tell because she has the more conservative bodice. This is the bodice that they were probably going for that reproduction that we just had last year. She's very beautiful. Look how short her hair is. This is her original hair length. Very short, but you can see the little golden wires in her. And of course her bodysuit, it is bronze, it's not gold. But gosh, is it gorgeous. And I think with this doll, he just wants me to clean her up and make her look a little bit more presentable. She's such a gorgeous doll. This is a number 3/4. It's usually called a 4 transitional. It's because primarily it's used with number 4 Barbie parts, but has like little bits of a number 3. So we've got a number 3 arm, a later number 3 head. Now he wants me to actually take this torso and switch these arms around and the legs and create a more proper 3 looking Barbie with 4 parts, if that makes sense. So we're going to be taking Barbies apart in this video, which if you've never seen how a earlier Barbie body is constructed, this is going to be great research for you guys. And here we have a really pretty number 3 doll body. Check that out. And it's not completely pale either. She does have some color to her. She's very pinky. And here's the head. Look how beautiful that head is. Look how gorgeous and stunning that head is. Now we are going to reattach this head, but before we do, we are going to be fixing that little neck split right there, which is why her head was off to begin with. And then we will get to doing her hair. And honestly, that's all this doll needs. She's beautiful. Another doll that we're going to be fixing up will be this late number 3 Barbie. This doll did unfortunately have a haircut, so we will have to go in and give her one of those little factory looking buns. Now something about this doll, she has like these little metal pins sticking out of her and everywhere. Look at that. That's like scary. So we're gonna have to remove those as well. I think this doll's gonna be really pretty. And look what we have. We have a brown net bubble cut Barbie. This is not a brunette, this is a brown net, and it is possibly one of the rarest bubble cuts to find, if not the rarest bubble cut to find. And she's on a number 4 doll body, but you could tell how early she is. She does have that greasy face. She's gonna have to be freshened up, but I think when she is, she's going to be super stunning. Last but not least, we have a talker Barbie. This is the Nape Curl Talking Barbie, and this doll is using the Stacy head mold. I would imagine that they were using the Stacy head mold to get rid of the excess Stacy doll heads that they had laying around, because Stacy was discontinued in the early 1970s, which is when this doll came out. So they probably utilized those heads to make Barbie heads, because they were also using the Stacy doll head for the Malibu Barbie. So it did give it a little bit more of a consistent look, but it's obviously not something that stuck around, because that twist and turn head mold would last until 1976. Now he did say he does not want us to go inside and make her talk again. So we'll respect his wishes and just give her a beautiful little makeover. So I certainly have my work cut out for me, so let's go ahead and get started.
It was a big day for Barbie. She was up bright and early to choose just the right costume to wear. And after putting her dream house in order, she was on her way to work at Barbie's fashion shop. Now Barbie has her very own fashion shop, and you can have one too. There's a window mannequin you can dress, a jewelry counter, shelves for hats and bags, a rack for the Barbie costumes and accessories that you buy, as well as a mirror and chairs for customers. Here comes Barbie on stage now to model one of her newest gowns. You'll have great fun putting the shop and all of its furnishings together to stage your very own Barbie fashion shows. Mattel's new Barbie fashion shop folds up neatly for storage, just like the Barbie Dream House. You can get Barbie's fashion shop and the Barbie Dream House wherever toys are sold. You can tell they're Mattel. They're swell.
First thing that I'm going to do is do the torso swab and the arm swab and everything. I already have some water boiling, so let's just pour this into this little plastic container. Okay, we're gonna boil these. I really don't want to submerge this doll's head into boiling water, so I just took it off, applying some heat and pressure myself. And then we are left with this little body here. So we will put it now into the hot water. The midge head is good in the boiling water. The reason why I don't want to put this head in particular in there is because she does have a flocked scalp. And a lot of hot water, as hot as this had to be, would just take off that flocking, and we don't want that. It's time to take them out. And we will start with Midge herself. We can go ahead and take off the head, which came off super easy. So there we go. We'll take off the arm. See like how it's solid? So that's why they call it a solid body. A normal vintage Barbie body will be hollow, anything after 1960. And this is what the arms will look like too. They're different than your standard 60s Barbie arm. But that's why they call this a solid torso. Look at that. And a solid body. It has much more weight to it compared to a standard Barbie body. Now this one feels like it's going to be a little bit more difficult. There we go. See, look at that. And this is just, again, boiling hot water, so any heat that you have will be perfect. And to tell you the truth, I actually prefer these solid torsos. This was actually really nice quality. Unfortunately, that they got rid of a little bit too quickly, but they, again, were trying to make Barbie more affordable for those who needed her to be. To do that, you do have to cut some costs where you can. Do the same thing there. They come off super easy, as you can see. Go. And there you are. Okay, look at that. Another solid torso. So now we can put these two together. And there we go. There is our transitional doll body ready for Barbie. Also, just look at all the nails that are in this poor Barbie doll's hair. What the heck is going on underneath here? I'm almost scared to look.
I'm scared.
If you're a frequent viewer of mine, you will know exactly how I'm going to wash these dolls up. But if you're not, you just stumble across this video, I'm only going to wash one on camera so that way you can see exactly what the process is like. It's very tedious, but the payoff is really good. So I've got a little bath over here of some warm water, and you're going to need some dish soap if you're choosing. You're going to need some conditioner. I like to use the one that has moist in it. I know it is a trigger word for some, but I do like to use it because it leaves a beautiful sheen on the doll hair. You can kind of see the sheen trying to come through, but this doll is very dirty. Usually I will do about 2 coats of the dish soap, so that way we get out all the dirt as possible, all the excess oils and anything that could be leaching from the vinyl itself. You're also going to need some baking soda. Baking soda is great. You want to be careful around the painted areas, but where you've got like some excess dirt like all around here, you want to really just lay it in there. Just really give it your best go. So let's get on to washing the body. And now it's time for the second bath using just Dawn dish soap. This will ensure that we get all of that baking soda off of the doll and will leave her squeaky clean. And there we go. We have a very clean Barbie, but we're not quite done just yet.
But wait, there's more!
You want to get some conditioner and just put that on your Barbie doll's hair. Depending on how coarse or how dry your doll's hair is, you can leave it on there if you want for a little bit of time, just to make sure that it's evenly saturated and it's had enough time to really soak up into the hair itself. And now we'll just take a comb. We're going to start off at the ends of the hair and then work our way up. And once you're able to get the comb all the way through, you're ready to wash it off. And there you have it. We have a Barbie who is ready for the next stages of restoration. It is that simple. Altogether, this took me about 9 minutes to do.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The next thing I'm going to do for this Barbie is get rid of her little frizzy ends. And I'm going to take some hot water, not boiling hot, but hot water. And we are going to attack this hair. And this should get rid of the kinks that you see in the hair. So that way we can make it as sleek as possible for styling. Now you're going to see some steam coming up, but remember, this is not completely boiling hot. This is not the way it was whenever we did a torso swap. We do not want to hurt that flock's scalp. And you can see that those kinks are gone. I also want to work on the bangs just a little bit, just to get them pushed down just a little bit, so that way they're not as crazy as they are. Because sometimes these bangs, they don't need to be recurled. They just need to be reset in their original setting, like this. Now, something that I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some diluted hair gel. This is going to be 90% water mixed with 10% of some hair gel of your choosing. Today we are using Got to Be Glued. I've been using it for years and I've found some great success with it. Now you're going to want to use a very diluted amount of this, and this is going to help. It's going to put some shine back in the hair, which is exactly what this doll needs. That is going to come out looking brand new whenever it's dry. I guarantee it.
Golden Dream Barbie, beautiful.
Introducing beautiful Golden Dream Barbie doll.
Hey girls, our guest will be here soon.
Quick, let's get Barbie ready.
Yeah. New Golden Dream Barbie has glittery golden colored quick curl hair you can style with her play curling iron.
Gorgeous outfit, sparkling jewelry.
Barbie's spectacular.
She's Golden Dream Barbie, Daddy.
No wonder.
Golden Dream Barbie doll comes with all you see here. She's new from Mattel.
This probably is one of the most beautiful number 3s that has ever come across my table, but we do have a little issue where she's got a small little neck split right here that's forming. I'm going to add a little dollop of my super glue, Loctite Professional Liquid. I'm going to take a pen and douse the super glue that I put down on this wax paper. Then I am going to open it up by applying some pressure. And I'm going to start from the innards, so right in here. And the reason why I am using a pen is because I want absolute, complete control. And I'm just making sure that I'm getting as much glue as I possibly can in this crack. And we are going to squish it down. You can use a Q-tip and wipe off any excess if you've got it. Now what I'm going to do is take the same pen and run across, and we're just going to build that area up. If you have any questions or maybe want to see a more severe neck split, I already do have videos on that topic, which I will leave down below in the description. But I'm going to leave her here just for a night, and then tomorrow we should be able to reattach this head back on her body.
If you were Barbie, the glamorous teenage fashion model doll by Mattel, you'd have a fabulous wardrobe created for you by Mattel's famous designers. Like the spectacular form-fitted evening gown, handcrafted with exquisite detailing, zippers that really work, rich satin linings, matched accessories in minutest detail, perfect workmanship in every beautiful costume. Always the newest, most elegant style. Only Barbie has such a magnificent wardrobe, such a variety of hairstyles and colors. And only the genuine Barbie has this very special tag to tell you that she's the one and only Barbie. If you were Barbie, you'd insist on the best. And Barbie is the best, made only by Mattel. Just $3 wherever dolls are sold. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
It's time that we repaint the brunette's face. You can see her hair is styled, and really all she needs is a lip touch-up and some nostril touch-up, and as well as some cheek blushing. Now this doll I suspected was on a number 4 body because it is, but I was thinking that perhaps it was actually rebodied. But on closer inspection, this is her original body. This happens to be the first version of a bubble cut. And you can tell because the hair is, of course, original. It is a brunette, and the head is a number 4 head. Of course, not flocked or anything, but this is exactly a number 4 head. Now, a number 4 head and a number 5 head, which came right after, are a little bit different in vinyl and in shape and on the inside of the head. They're just a little bit different. The number 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s have a thicker head vinyl that's not as pliable. It's still squishy, but it's not as squishy as what 5s and so on heads would be. That is remarkable to find because I was under the assumption that by this time they weren't making solid bodies anymore. This is a solid body, and we've got like more rubbery limbs than what we had on number 5s. I just automatically assumed that bubble cuts showed up on number 5 hollow bodies, and for the majority they did. This doll, however, she could be a sample. She could be the first bubble cut that they created, one of them, and she reuses old ponytail Barbie parts. It's just honestly so remarkable because I didn't know that that existed. And if you didn't know that existed, now you do. So it's really an incredible find. So we're going to get to repainting her lips, and I'm using acrylic paints that I got at the craft store. Now these paints are used for airbrushing. And since this doll would have been airbrushed, probably would have used paints very similar to this. I'm going to mix a deeper red with a lighter red, and that should give us the tone that we're looking for. We'll do a little dollop. This red is very orangey, almost like a true 1960s lip. I know Marilyn Monroe was a big fan of orange red lips, and they showed up very well in Technicolor cameras. So while I mix this, I'm actually going to dip my paintbrush in the water, and I'm going to start to dilute this. I'm going to take some more water and dilute that paint. I'm going to do a little bit of a swatch test. Now this paint is a little bit more permanent than your regular acrylic paint, and that looks like that's going to be a winner. So let's just go ahead and start to map out the lips. You can kind of see the original lip paint poking through, which is the perfect guide. And check her out. Oh my God. I am peanut butter and jealous over this doll. Okay, so we're gonna give her 2 little nostrils. She would have had those right up here. Boop. After 2 coats of paint, her lips are back on, and just look how stunning she is already. But now you can see the original lip shape, and this is undeniably a number 4 doll head. This doll is truly a treasure. Plastic! So let's do some work with some ponytails. I have all of my ponytails all lined up in a different order so that way I can show you all the steps properly to setting a ponytail Barbie. I've already made videos dedicated to this, but I just thought I would add this in here so that way nobody had any questions on how I did my ponytails. We're also going to be doing a updo in the end, so stay tuned because that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm the life of the party, so if you invite me, watch out.
That's something I've not really touched base on. But this is how you want to start. You want your ponytail to be nice and clean. You want the hair to be nice and boil washed. And you want it to be nice, silky, soft, and smooth, straight as a pin as you can get it. That's what you want to start off with. You want to start off with hair that looks new and hair that is fresh and rejuvenated. So you want to follow all those steps that I did in the cleaning so that way you too could have a ponytail whose hair looks like this, so whenever you start to set it, it doesn't look bad. Now I am wearing shorts. You just can't see my shorts, so please don't leave a comment talking about how I need to wear pants because you guys.
I've never made any secret of the fact that I am a complete tart.
We're going to start off with a rubber band, and all the products that I'm using I'm going to leave down in the description box below. So if you have any questions, you can read and you can click on the links to where I bought them. Now when we set the ponytail, we are going to set it right here at the top of the head. We aren't going to do it right here in the middle. We're not going to do it on the side. We're going to do it right here. Right there is where you want your ponytail to be. A lot of the repros like to put their ponytails right here. Don't know why, because the ponytail is supposed to go right here. It's based on how Barbie's head is shaped. Now that we know where we want our ponytail, there should be a longer strand of hair somewhere in here, and there doesn't appear to be, so she either didn't have one or somebody cut into it. But it usually starts over here off to the side, and it is not a generous amount of hair. It's somewhere around this width right here, and we're gonna make the top knot, the band. We're just going to swoop around like so, and that's going to create the top knot. Make sure that the strand of hair is all brushed out before you make your top knot. We're going to go below, leaving a little room right here, and taking the end and pushing it through the hole that we created, like so. Okay, and now we're just going to pull taut, and there you go, you have your top knot. So let's go to the next step. For the hard curl, you will need some hair gel. I will leave a link for this down below. This is my preferred product to use whenever it comes to doing my Barbie's hard curls. So if you ever wonder how I get my Barbie's hair looking the way that it does, I do use Got to Be Glued hair gel. I will have all the products I'm using down in the description box below. With 90% water and 10% Got to Be Glued, I made a diluted gel. I'm going to put a little cotton pad in there. I'm just going to make the hair slightly damp on the end, slightly damp. And I'm going to do this on the outside and on the inside of the hard curl. Now I'm going to take some Got to Be Glued, and I am going to put a very generous amount on this hair. And we are going to go front and back. We are going to make a very thick layer of hair gel because we do want it to stick together. So this is what you're looking for. This is how you know you've done a really good job. It should be very glossy. We're going to take 2 hairpins. This is how I do it. There are multiple ways of doing a hard curl, but this is how I do it. I'm going to put 2 hairpins right here on the ends, and I am going to roll it up. Once you have it right where you want it, I'll take some metal hairpins and go right in the center and hold. So it will turn out looking something like this. And now we can sit and let it dry. It does take a few hours for this to completely dry. I'm going to stick her out in the sun and let it do its bidding. As you can see, she does have a very thick layer of gel, and it will take a moment for that to solidify. And then once it does, we're going to take out the pins and she will look better than new. So this is what it looks like when it is dried. It's very thick, very hard, but that's exactly the way that we want it. But let's say that Barbie has some flyaways. We can take that diluted gel that we had before and we can brush up on the ponytail, make it sleek, and just touch it with everything. You don't have to use a very thick amount, but this will help. And once it is dry, it'll look really glossy and really shiny and sheeny. But since this doll is going to go off to a museum, we are going to make sure that this ponytail is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to take some thread. I'm going to go under her neck. And I'm going to secure this ponytail down. Once you tie it tight, clip off the excess, and this is what you're left with. And she is ready for the museum.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
So this is the doll with a slight haircut, and we've decided to turn her into what's called a factory bun. And that's just where the ponytail is turned under and it's created like this little coiffure, like almost like she's wearing a snood. And the hair is really not so bad that we couldn't turn her into a ponytail. I think probably what happened was the child cut off her hard curl, or at least the fuzzy ends of the hard curl. But we've decided to turn her into a factory bun so she can wear some of Barbie's more glamorous outfits. So I'm going to start off by putting the rubber band down where it originally would have been with the neck rim. I'm going to take some hair gel and I am going to put this all on the ends here. Now usually with the factory buns, they still do have a hard curl. It's just on the inside of the bun. So with the hair gel, I'm going to create a little ball, almost like a hard curl. And we're going to flip that under like so. And then we are going to flip that under. So it creates that pretty little snood. Now in the factory, they would use pins and they would pin the hair, which doesn't seem normal nowadays, but they would pin the hair to the head like so, like that. That is what would create the factory bun. See, it's so much easier than what people think it is. It's not as involved as what you might think, but it does give off a very beautiful look for her more elegant fashions.
Her name is Barbie, and her name is Barbie, and hers. One Barbie, 4 different hairstyles, all from Barbie's new hair fair. 4 different hair pieces, plus an extra head of short hair, all designed and created especially for your new Barbie. So you can change Barbie's hairstyle every time you change your costume. A groovy braid for the beach. A full wig for dancing. A long bow for boating. And earrings, barrettes, all the accessories you need. Put a different hairstyle on your Barbie. Or even her friends, Francie and Casey. With every different costume. Give your Barbie changeable hair pieces like these. It's just like having a dozen different Barbies. New hair fair for your Barbie, made by Mattel.
And here are all the dolls, all done. And we're just doing like a wide 360. We'll go over every single one here in just one moment. But these dolls are going straight into a museum. And let's go ahead and look at some of the earliest that we restored. Here are the earliest beauties. So we'll just do a 360 so you can see them all the way around. We are going to do these by 3s. Get it?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Here we have probably my favorite. And I don't know why she's my favorite. She just has a really sweet face. but she's very pale. She didn't really retain any of her original color, unlike her sister over here, who has retained a very beautiful shade. And she would have been slightly darker than this, but this is how you want to find them. And she's completely original in the face. So is this doll right here. And this doll got her lips touched up, but otherwise she too is completely original in the face. And this is actually a TM version of the Nightly Negligee set from 1959. Now these number 3s would have been from around 1959 to 1960, and we have one of my number 3 dolls to thank as far as figuring out exactly when the number 3s would have come out. But you can see how gorgeous they are. They're so beautiful. I think they're going to fit in just great at that museum. And here is our other batch of 3s. We'll go ahead and give them a 360. We turned this one in particular into a factory braid doll. And I'm so excited to see these on display in the museum. I think the dolls that we have here to show you today are a great representation of change in the company of Mattel. Whenever Barbie was early, we can see how they changed the vinyl formulation, and this is a perfect example. We have a transitional number 3 and 4. We're going to call her both because she is sharing parts from both dolls. From the number 3 to the number 4, there is a formulation change. The color is actually mixed into the vinyl instead of after the fact. So after the pour of this vinyl, after it's hardened, then they would dye it. And as you can see over time, just like with fabrics, it did not last. And they faded to that nice ivory color that they're known to be, because that is the vinyl's color. But as you look at the 4 parts, the color is still there because it is actually mixed into the vinyl itself, so the doll will retain its color. Ruth Handler famously said that the number 4 Barbie, the 1960 Barbie, is where she finally feels like they started to get Barbie right. And I believe it was the number 4 Barbie she was speaking of. But this Barbie in particular is really special. She's very beautiful. A number 3 face with blue eyeshadow that's incredibly rare to find. And again, we made her a little factory braid, and we went ahead and left her face retouch free. Same with this one. She's the one that had a bunch of pins stuck in her. So this voodoo Barbie now is ready for a wedding. And what's kind of funny and interesting about this doll in particular, she's a number 3. She's not a transitional. This arm still retains all of its color. This is how the number 3s would have looked. That color right there, this is how they become. They become ivory over time, but this is the original color. And isn't that special? Over here we have a beautiful 3. We decided to give her a beautiful touch up, and she's stunning with the blue eyeshadow, just gorgeous as ever. These dolls really are a labor of love, and I can't wait to see them on display in this museum. And I really hope you guys go to the museum and get to see these beautiful dolls, because they have a lot of amazing things to show you. And here we have the impressively beautiful Brownette, all done up. And I purposely dressed her like the reproduction, because I just wanted to see what this really looks like in real life and in person. Look how gorgeous she is. This is not your typical bubble cut Barbie. Not only does she have the Brownette hair, which is rare on itself, this is using number 4 Barbie parts. I have never seen this before, and I don't even know if I'll ever see it again. And what makes this really an intriguing discovery, the original owner of this doll, her name was Carol as well. Now, if you watch this channel, which I suggest that you do, there is another important Barbie that taught me about Barbie history, and her original owner also was Carol. And this same Carol kept incredible care of her doll, and also her original stand was a pedestal stand. The pedestal stand is known to have stopped after the number 4 Barbie doll's release. By the time of the number 5 Ponytail Barbie, we went to a completely different stand. But that's not completely the case, because this doll's original stand is a pedestal stand. She is completely using number 4 Barbie parts. Now I'm going to show you what we typically know as a first edition bubble cut. This doll right here is what we know as a first edition 1961 bubble cut Barbie. And you can tell in the face mold that there are some changes going on. They did alter Barbie's looks in 1961's release of dolls. Right here is a true first edition. I would say she is from 1960. And that does not discount this doll here that we know of as a first edition bubble cut. It adds to the story. And that's what's so important whenever I am restoring these dolls and I'm documenting these changes and things that we know, because this is, in all purposes, a number 4 Barbie with a bubble cut hairstyle. This is a whole different Barbie compared. This doll has a hollow body. This one has a solid body. This one has more rubbery limbs. This one has harder plastic limbs. This one's head is thicker. This one's head is thinner and more pliable. This one's head gets greasy. This one's head does not. It's just a remarkable discovery, and this doll you will only be able to see in that museum. So I hope you do find a way to go out to that museum, because it has a very impressive selection of dolls to look at, and also fashions and memorabilia. Let's take one last good look at her. Isn't she stunning? Here is our last batch of dolls to look at, and aren't they just as special and just as rare to find as everything else that you've seen? It is not common to find any of these dolls on this table whatsoever. But wow, what a discovery to have all of them here and restore every single one for this beautiful museum. The first doll that we can look at right here in the middle is going to be our talking Barbie. Now you might be like, talking Barbie's not that rare, Dakota, but this one is. Now I speculate it is because they had a lot of Stacy heads left over and they needed to get them out. And one way to use them is just to turn them into Barbie. And it's just one way to get every single use out of a product that you pay for. This doll in particular is very beautiful. She is a brunette. And I put her in a Best Buy outfit. Just by looking at her, you can tell that she's not like the other girls.
I'm really not that type of girl.
The next doll we can look at is rather an odd one. This one is a European variation. This is a busy German Francie doll. That's why they were called busy, because they were very busy holding things. Very seldom those dolls do not come out undamaged. Their limbs were usually held by very rickety joints, so usually you will find them all broken. We do have the body of this original doll, however she's missing an arm, so we decided to place her on this twist and turn Francie body so that way she can still be enjoyed, but we are going to be keeping that original body so that way in case we do find her an arm, we can use it and we can make her complete again. But this is a German variation of Francie. She's extremely rare to find. You do not find this doll every year. You know, this doll is incredibly rare and incredibly rare to find with her original dress as well. A very beautiful dress at that. I don't exactly know why they made Francie look this way specifically for Germany, but to have this specifically go out to a German audience, I have to wonder why. She's very beautiful though, but she has a very big head, especially compared to a regular Francie. So I would like to know the backstory about that as well. And maybe she was a test market doll, you never know. But they do have a twist and turn, I believe, and they also have a busy Francie, which this one would have been, which makes her a very intriguing find and a very special footnote in Barbie history. Last but not least, we have the beautiful Golden Dream Christy doll. This doll is simply iconic. We just got a reproduction of her not too long ago. This one is a true first edition. She has the bias tape as a strap instead of the golden or copper ribbon, which makes that a very unique find. And to be honest, I've never seen this variation in the box, so I would say this doll is pretty special. This doll is ready to dance the night away, and I think you should see her next to my Golden Dream Christy, just so that you can see how Golden Dream Christy changed throughout her production. This is my Golden Dream Christy that I got from one of my very, very, very good friends that I love so much. So if you're watching, hey girl. And this one is my client's Golden Dream Christy. You can see the differences, especially in the bodice. My doll is halfway exposing herself, whereas this doll is more conservative. Now, you might be wondering which one I do prefer, but I think this one looks a little bit more cunty, but this one looks like it's better quality, better thought out. It just looks better. This one's hair is a little bit longer, a little bit fluffier than this one's right here, but honestly, that really doesn't mean anything. It just could be factory batch at the end of the day. But if you look at my doll's eyes compared to this doll's eyes, you can see my doll's eyes are a little bit bigger. They're more doe-eyed than this one. I know between these two Christies, it's very hard to decide, but which one is your favorite? Let me know down below. Here is my Action Accents Barbie all finished. And she's not going into the museum, she's going right into my collection. But I just wanted you to see how gorgeous she is. She's so pretty. And I am tickled pink to have this doll. Let's talk briefly about the museum that these dolls will be showcased in. The dolls will be part of a large vintage doll show called Barbie and Her Friends at the Essa Purse Museum in Little Rock, Arkansas from September 2026 to January 2027. In the description box below, I will leave a link to their social media account on Instagram, but you can also find them on Facebook. And on there, they will have museum updates as well as event updates. If you're interested in viewing these dolls in the museum, stay tuned, and maybe someday you'll even see me there too. I have so much work to do with them and so many more dolls to restore for the museum, so stay subscribed for those beautiful dolls. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I also hope you get the opportunity to go look at them in person at this museum. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments below. Tell me which doll is your favorite and why is it your favorite. Maybe you even had some of these dolls as a child. I would love to know everything down below in the comments, and I do have some very exciting videos coming on the way to you, so I do hope that you stay tuned. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, divas. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to subscribe, please do. And as always, remember to be kind to others, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. And I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Find a Friend show. And here's Barbie.
Would you like to be a model?
Today, Barbie and her friends are playing a television show.
Before we meet Ken's mystery friend, word from our sponsor. Sponsor, Mattel. And here's Ken's mystery friend now.
My name's Brad. What's yours?
Mattel's talking Barbie and her friends. The only talking fashion dolls in the world. They're waiting to talk to you.